Millions of people use Microsoft Excel to create tables, lists, and of course charts. But the real power of Excel is its incredible ability to do calculations. And many people simply don't know how to take advantage of this power. The problem is that in order to use calculations in Excel, we have to use, well, I'm going to have to use the F word. I'm sorry. But to do a calculation in Excel, we have to use a formula. I know that brings back some bad memories from school, but formulas in Excel are actually not that complicated. They can even be a little fun once you know the 4 rules of formulas. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create formulas in a simple and safe way. In the description below, there's a link to get a transcription of the video, plus an Excel workbook so that you can follow along. I hope you find this information useful, and if so, please consider subscribing so I can deliver some more of these videos. Let's open up a workbook we can play with. By the way, the link for this workbook is in the description below. And let's open the sheet First Rule. Now, the first rule is easy. We always start a formula with a certain character, an equal sign. And the simplest formula is just inequality. We just set one cell equal to another. So we'll click in the cell, we'll type equals, we'll click another cell, and just hit the Enter key to enter the formula into the cell. Looks good. Nice, but now let's do what we came here to do, some calculating. We can do some addition. Again, we'll click in the cell, type equals, click one cell, type plus, click another cell, and hit the Enter key. Again, good. In the same way, we can do subtraction. Or multiplication. Now note that in multiplication, we use an asterisk instead of an X sign. And of course, we can do division. And in division, we use a /. Looks good. In some formulas, you may have to refer to 3 cells or more, and sometimes you may need to use parentheses. Not always, but sometimes. The parentheses tell Excel to do something first before it does anything else. For example, here we're trying to find the percentage increase, and we want Excel to do the subtraction before the division. And we'll change that to a % by just clicking the % button. You will also see parentheses when you use functions. Excel has hundreds of functions. Some of them are a bit confusing. In fact, a lot of them are a bit confusing, but that's okay. They're just trying to help. Their main goal in life is to make our formulas a little easier. Here we want to use the average function, which is a lot easier than adding up a bunch of numbers and then doing a division. I type equals AVER. I'll hit the Tab key to accept that particular function, and I'll just select the cells and then just hit the Enter key. Excel knows enough to put in the closing parentheses by itself. Let's go on to a more useful example. Let's pretend we're working in a restaurant and we're trying to keep track of our customers' orders. Here we have a small order form, and a customer has already ordered some of our delicious items. Now we need to calculate the totals for each row. Of course, we humans know that we need to multiply the quantity times the price, but Excel is not human, at least not yet, and we have to use a formula to get it to understand what we want it to do. So we type in equals 1 times 495, and we'll hit the Enter key, and we get a good result. Everybody's happy, right? No, we don't do what we just did. We just put numbers into a formula, and that's not good. You don't want to put numbers into formulas. The second rule is avoid numbers in formulas. Why? What's wrong with numbers? We don't put numbers into formulas because numbers always seem to change. And when they change, then we need to change the formulas, and that's a lot of work. So instead of putting a number into a formula, we do what? We put the address of the number, the cell address, or what they call the cell reference. We'll click the cell and we'll type equals, and we'll click the 1 cell times, click the 495 cell, and just press the Enter key. again, let's check it. We got 1 times 495, which is 495. Looks good. Now, if either of those numbers change, the result changes too, but the formula stays the same. We don't have to worry about it anymore. Now, we could create similar formulas for the other cells in the total column, but the easy way is to simply copy the formula down to the other cells. And the easy way to copy a formula is to use the fill handle. See the little box at the lower right corner of the active cell? That's the fill handle. And we're going to grab that with the mouse and drag it down a few rows. Note that we included some blank rows. They may be blank now, but our next customer may want to use them to order lots of food. Let's hope. Let's see, 4 donuts times, let's say 7. 4 times 7 is 28. Good. I think we got a good result here. And now, of course, we need to add up these totals. And here's one of my favorite Excel tricks. First, we'll click the cell. Now, we could, of course, create a formula that adds up the first total to the second total to the third total. You get the idea. But we're not going to do that. There's a much better way. Because addition is done so frequently in Excel, Microsoft has given us a nice shortcut. All we need to do is go up to the Home ribbon and click the Auto Sum button. There. Now we have a sum function, and all we need to do to enter the formula into the cell is to press the Enter key. Looks good, but let's check it. 5 plus 15, that's 20, plus 30 is 50, plus 25 is about 75, and 78. Pretty good. It works. Now, do you see what I did there? Every time I created a formula, I did a quick check to see if it was correct. And that is my third rule of formulas. Always check the formula. It is very easy to make a mistake in a formula, and you don't want to make a mistake because you are usually dealing with money, and any mistake is going to cost somebody. Now, you don't have to check it exactly. Just a quick estimate will be fine. Our order form is looking pretty good now, and it's about time to reveal our last rule. Let's take another look at the formulas in the totals column. Now, the last cell at the bottom, that's the total of all the cells, but the other cells, if you look here, these cells right here, these are all the same. They have pretty much the same formula in them. Okay, but let's make a little change here. Let's say, for example, one of our parties ordering a cup of coffee. And let's say the price of the coffee is $1.99. After all, it's really good coffee. Now, we get a good result, but let's make a little change here. Since we only have one cup of coffee, we don't need to refer to both cells. We can just refer to the second cell. So let's get rid of that first cell reference, A8. Let's going to click right there and just backspace 1, 2. There we go, C8. That's all we need to do, just the Enter key. And we still get a good result, right? That's pretty good, right? Wrong. You may get the right result now, but what if they ordered 2 cups or 3 or 4? After all, this is pretty good coffee. Let's change that 1 to a 2. Now we're getting an incorrect result, and often there's no way to tell if we have an error. Now, in this particular case, we have a green triangle in the upper left of the cell. That means that Excel thinks there might be something wrong with this formula. Good, Excel. And when I click on the cell, a little caution sign appears, and when I click on that icon, it says inconsistent formula. We don't want that. Let's fix this by dragging the first formula down to all the cells below it. This is just like we did a while ago. Now we have the correct result and the error indication is gone, and we know that all these similar cells have the same formula. And that's the fourth rule of formulas. Similar cells should have similar formulas. And if you follow that rule, you will avoid quite a bit of trouble. So there it is, the 4 rules of formulas. Begin with an equal sign, avoid using numbers, check your results, and similar cells should have similar formulas. There's a whole lot more we could talk about Excel formulas, especially about Excel functions, but that will have to wait for another video. But already you should have enough knowledge to do quite a bit of calculations. So take advantage of this knowledge. Practice using Excel formulas as much as you can. Whenever you need to calculate something, don't use pencil and paper. Don't use a calculator. Open up Excel and create a simple spreadsheet. I know this sounds inconvenient, but this is a really good way to get proficient with formulas. The more comfortable you are with Excel formulas, the more valuable you'll be with your current and future employers. It just takes 4 rules and some practice. Thanks for watching. If you found this video useful, please do us a favor and click the subscribe button. That will make us very happy, and it also will make it possible for us to do more of these videos. I hope you enjoy using Microsoft Excel, and be sure to have some fun with it.